owns two of the biggest titles in the game, the World Championship and the Premier League crown, looking to make it a hat-trick and make it a triple crown. Steve Beaton has other ideas. Anderson an overwhelming favourite at 14 to 1
140.
8 to 1 Steve Beaton, but Wayne, what a run for the outsiders today.
6 on the bounce.
60.
This would be the biggest upset of them all though, wouldn't it? And that's taking nothing away from Steve Beaton, former world champ, of course.
140.
On his day, we know what Steve can do, but it's doing it against the very best, isn't it? And Gary Anderson is, at the moment, playing the darts of his life. The last 6 meetings, interestingly enough, have been 3 apiece, so Steve knows that he can beat the world champ.
126, leaving 170.
Got to go out on 170 to hold throw. Unlucky Steve.
105, Gary, you require 40.
Double 20. Double 10 now. Just with those 3 darts, Gary Anderson has shown you the difference between him of now and maybe 14, 16 months ago. He would have slightly panicked and missed 14 months ago, but now it goes in.
Well, before collecting
60,
the 2 biggies, the World and the Premier League, he'd also won the Players' Championship, which seemed to shift his mentality and give him the confidence. And that victory in the final over Phil Taylor at the Alexandra Palace was, well, something to behold. An event to remember 93. And say that you were there in that 7-6 thriller.
Well, he was involved in one of the Matchplay Classics last year, wasn't he, against Phil Taylor in the semi-finals. An incredible match. Where he seems to get involved. He gets embroiled in these dramas.
94.
And that, the first time he got beyond the last 16 at the match play. A shocking record before last year. Nothing shocking about that. From the world champ. Treats us to a maximum. And that's one of the facets of his game that's returned, Wayne. When he was a little bit in the doldrums a couple of years
60,
ago, he was struggling in bottom of the Premier League
79.
on a couple of occasions. His 180 hitting rather disappeared, but back now. Double 11.
In charge in the second leg. Gary Anderson, the next team to throw.
Confidence is an amazing thing. And Steve needs to get rid of that
93.
donut. The O must go.
Well, these
57.
2 darlings of the Darterati, the former Dream Boy and the bronzed Adonis, both admitting that they're a little old for those nicknames now, Wayne, aren't they?
Yeah, that they are a bit. They are. But the thing with Steve is that, and you've already mentioned it, Rod, about their actions. This is why Steve Beaton's been around for so long. Can be so silky smooth. Look at Steve, even his darts are nice, aren't they?
Well, he, with a grin, says he's the grey Adonis these days, Steve.
190.
Colourful darts from Gary Anderson, though. What a start from the world champ. A second max.
94.
He's beaten one of the gents of the darting circuit.
58. Stevie requires 74.
42. 20 now. Is that awkward, Steve? No? Tops?
34. Gary requires 113.
Oh, perfect dart to plunder the third leg. You made the point, Wayne, quite rightly. In leg 1, you fancy Anderson to hit doubles now. A couple of years ago, you doubt him, but those doubling doubts have just disappeared as the titles and trophies have arrived.
100.
And we know the long formats don't faze Gary. The longer you go without a leg, it can become a real ordeal to win one, especially when your opponent is the likes of Gary Anderson. And we've seen already in this championship
91.
where so many players have rattled off early leads. Seems to be a bit of a trait for the match play at the moment. And none of them have kind of pulled it back, apart from Mervyn King. But he couldn't go ahead and beat Andrew Gilding anyway. Steve definitely picked up the pace for those 3 darts.
135.
May have already reached the point where he's thinking, I've got to do something else because what I'm doing isn't working.
56.
Well, talking of big leads disappearing, Gary Anderson was 5-0 up over Dean Winstanley here at the match play.
140.
Lost. You recall, Wayne?
I do. It was when Dino had the amazing bullseye.
70.
Not here this year, Dino.
80.
Dean. What's happened to Dean? Oh, double 10. Well, it was a mistake.
70.
Hitting the double top, of course. Wanted to go high to avoid the treble, but not that high, Steve. Well, he's going to get another go, Steve Beaton, as Anderson hits the wrong treble.
80.
Already a must.
10.
Got to go in. Has to.
Well,
Well, he pulled it a bit, but that
Steve Beaton
was in the corner. It's 3-1. And he feels slightly better about himself.
Game on.
Break and throw also. Can hold, and it will be 3-2.
140.
Being played at a good pace as well. We've seen a few matches like this today. Normally makes for a good game.
Steve Beaton is Dave and
57.
Rob was saying beforehand, 16th appearance at the World Matchplay. Only Phil Taylor has had more than that. His best run to the semi-finals in 2001.
140.
Quarter-finals in 98. A long time since he's had a real decent run then, isn't it?
Yeah, but it just shows you that he's been able to hack the rising quality of play, and he really has. He's gone along with it.
121.
19 years ago he won the world title. Bullseye now. Will he go for it?
76.
Well, he did. Probably wishes he hadn't.
To get it back
45.
to 3-2 when it was 3-0. Double 16. Up a bit.
29. Gary requires
And you
75.
fancy Anderson in his current mood to take this out.
Indeed. There you go, 2 darts, no drama. You see the look on Steve Beaton's face when he had more luck. Well, he had a bit in the last leg, didn't he, where Steve Beaton missed 2 darts at 32 to make it 3-2. Could have made all the difference.
Yeah, but you're still going to be good enough to take advantage of the luck, Wayne, haven't you?
Exactly.
121.
And he is.
Yeah, just a bit.
World number 3 now, but breathing right down Phil Taylor's neck, who's world number 2, and then there's a yawning gap really to MVG.
He has been world number 2, Gary, for a couple of months, and then just relinquished that spot to Phil. You'll probably see them flip-flop in 2 and 3 over the coming months.
The prize money, and remember the world rankings are based simply on the money,
40.
rather makes a nonsense of the situation, because this tournament, I use the word only in inverted commas, has a first prize of £100,000.
140.
It's more prestigious than the points are gained by that prize, isn't it?
Very much so. 54.
138. Gary, you require 111.
11. Tops.
In charge in the sixth leg. Gary Anderson.
1-1-3, and now
So
1-1-1.
Black Steve to throw first.
World champ
Game
leads
on.
5-1.
63% on his doubles. When these big hitters,
123.
and I'm including your Adrian Lewis, Phil Taylor, Michael Van Gerwen,
60.
Gary, obviously, when they hit the doubles at that kind of rate, 63, you're going to find yourself in all sorts of trouble.
61.
Phil Taylor makes his entrance tomorrow. It's John Henderson. Also on the card, RBB
43.
against Andy Hamilton. Dave Chisnell against Jamie Caven, and Robert Thornton plays Keegan Brown.
140.
And that will complete the first round and give us the elite last 16.
100.
Well, when Anderson looks to book his ticket, or is booking his ticket for the last 16.
The winner of this match will play Mensur Suljovic, who, if you watched the last match, we've seen him beat Terry Jenkins. Well, he's not showing all his talents in this leg, Gary Anderson.
56. Stevie requires 78.
54 for 24. Double six.
No
That
score.
is careless. Oh, I'm not sure what Gary's laughing at, but something's made him chuckle.
100. Stevie requires 78.
I think he was chuckling at his chucking, which has been pretty ordinary from Anderson in this leg, but well, this is
66.
going to be
Gary
absolute
Regal,
larceny if he manages to win this leg
142.
from here. Beaton was down to a double, it seems like 5 minutes ago. Bust the 78. Now he's on 12 when he comes back. Gary Anderson's having a summit meeting with referee Georgie Noble about what to go
110.
for next, and Beaton now
Stevie
sizing up
Regal,
double
12.
six.
He's made a real mess of the last 6 darts. Well, that
6.
is a darting
Gary
disaster.
requires
Gary Anderson
32.
was roughly about 250 points behind in this leg, but Steve busting the 78 and then missing again.
Gary
He will be
Anderson.
thinking, what on earth did I do there?
Play
Well,
Gary to
he's kind
throw
of gifting
first.
the game
Game
now
on.
to Gary Anderson.
May well just get on to the strangest legs of darts DVD. Here's one starting more conventionally from the world champion as he fires in his third matchman of the match.
100.
Steve Beaton got himself in a rare old pickle. Was punished again.
101.
Well, Gary was on a 9-darter. He's hit many of those. But for those of you who don't know the endless talent that Gary's got,
140.
he's actually achieved 3 147s in snooker as well. Apparently he had the choice.
Is he really?
He has, yes. I find that
140.
absolutely staggering. Apparently he had the choice to be a dart professional or snooker professional, and well, we know where it took him, don't we?
Gary, you
World
require
champ.
80.
Well.
I would like to know if there's anyone else out there that has ever achieved that feat of a 9-darter and a 147.
Gary Anderson.
As Gary moves within 3 legs of a place in the second round against Mensur.
Has this been properly substantiated, Wayne?
Yes.
55.
Yes.
Absolutely remarkable.
And
96.
apparently, still to this day, if you want to challenge Gary to a game of snooker, he'll rattle in a 60 or 70 against you. My.
134.
I'll move over Stephen Hendry. Scotland has a new snooker star in town. Oh, but he's pretty good at darts as well,
140.
isn't he? Oh, Gary. 7-1. Steve Beaton paying the prize for missing doubles. He hits his first max.
Look. 3-1 down. Steve missed the two darts at double 16 to go 4-1. Then he made a real hash of the 78 to go 6-1. So it could have been slightly different. Could have at least been
100.
5-3. But it's not, because what we've already uttered, Gary now takes his chances.
46.
Well, he went for a
Stevie
13
requires
and
32.
made a mess of it.
Double 8. Yes,
James
Steve
Johnson,
Beaton
ninth leg.
finally gets
Steve
another
Beaton.
leg on the board.
To
7-2
Gary
behind.
to throw fast.
Frustrating
Game on.
evening for the Adonis. But he looks good even when he's losing.
96.
There's always that consolation. You're looking good, Steve.
He doesn't feel good though, does he, up there? Real frustrating night for Steve Beaton.
100.
It is a game of ifs and buts and maybes, but Steve will come off stage thinking if only I'd hit that double there, or this double, it could have been so different.
121.
I think some would have expected Gary to have a higher average of just over 95.
58.
With a 58% double strike rate as well. I'd expect that to be well over a ton. But he's leading
100.
7-2, so no dramas.
Well, no pleasure by the pleasure beach for poor old Steve Beaton. And Anderson looking to go 8-2 up here in the next couple of visits.
60.
Really needs a 180 or 140. Nothing else will do. Begging for it.
140.
60 was begging to be hit.
124.
He's already had 2-ton plus finishes. Can he add another? No.
41. Stevie require 146.
There's a shake of the head from Steve.
60.
Nothing's really happened
Gary
for him, has it?
require 83.
Missed doubles, 13%. He's had 16 darts at a double and missed 14 of them. Only won 180. Double 9 now for Gary. Just settling himself.
James
He gets it.
Johnson at Matchplay.
Gary Anderson won the first session, 4-1, and he's just won the next one, 4-1. Steve Beaton. He had 2 successful ones, whereas Gary's had 8 from 13. 2-ton plus finishes, 3 180s. Steve has just struggled from the very outset. Never easy to chase in a darts match. You've got to
60.
control the aggression and just try to relax. Easier said than done.
Anderson cruising along. The crowd still abuzz, I think, with the revelation that Gary Anderson has made 3 147 breaks at snooker.
133. Gary require 161.
Unfounded rumours that he shot 64 at the old course in St Andrews.
63.
Oh, sorry.
129.
What a setup there from the Flying Scotsman to leave 32 after a dozen darts, and Beaton can't go out. So Anderson now to move within a single leg of round 2.
100. Gary require 32.
Double 8.
Steve shot in the 11th leg.
Steve now is just not getting a sniff.
12th leg. Gary
This
to throw
to wrap it up
Game on.
in double quick time.
Well, you're right, Wayne. There hasn't been the high-octane, high-scoring from Gary Anderson, but the finishing has been clinical.
76.
With the precision of a surgeon.
Anything north of 50% is fantastic. 60% at the moment. And the scoring, whilst it hasn't been at his brilliant best, there's not been two bad shots running. He seems to have played the perfect match in a whatever's going to beat a 90 average, which is what Stevie's doing.
97.
Both the sessions that they've played have ended 4-1 to Anderson. That opened up an 8-2 lead. That's been extended to 9-2. And now the finishing line in sight.
98.
All the favourites had lost today, all 6 of them, before Anderson has got one back for favourite backers.
140. Stevie,
go on, Stevie, baby. Well, he looks disappointed, doesn't he?
130. Gary,
12 ball or treble 20. Such as his confidence, he might have a pop at treble 20. No, the bullseye.
Now,
25 for bull. Well, he could always gone 51 for 24 if he didn't fancy it.
yes,
88. Stevie required 40.
to save the match. Oh, well, he doesn't look ecstatic about it, does he, Steve?
Why wouldn't he?
Game on.
Still 3-9 down. Got the darts here, though.
Got to start somewhere, man.
Wow. You've got to win 7
140.
on the trot to level up at 9 all. You've got to win 1 before you get to 7, Wayne. Without a doubt.
66.
Switching around
57.
unsuccessfully.
Should be.
140.
Be interested to hear what Gary Anderson makes of his performance tonight. If indeed he does go on to close the door, just to get his appraisal on what he's done here.
Routine, professional. It's been good. I think it's been all right. I think it's been quite good. I think he's looked sharp enough. We sometimes become a bit infatuated with averages and stats. They're there as a guide, and they're there to be used.
140. Stevie requires 72.
Choice of treble. Top 16 then for Steve.
56. Gary requires 58.
Steve would hate his last darts to be missed darts at a double, but it could well work out that way.
38.
Just threw that a bit quickly,
Stevie
Gary.
requires 16.
To prolong the contest, Steve Beaton needs this double 4.
12.
Well, it's rather summed up the game because Steve Beaton has missed 20, count them, 20 darts at double.
Double 10.
No score.
Well, it's turning into a missed double-a-thon. Gary's laughing, but he's not finding it funny. He might be slightly embarrassed. Well, that's another leg back.
Steve Beaton. 14 playing Gary to throw first. Game on.
Steve Beaton has actually thrown more darts at double in this match than Gary Anderson, who leads 9-4. Steve Beaton has thrown 24 darts at double and missed 20. Anderson 20 attempts and hit 9. 5 of them were for the match.
54.
Saved by the last dart. It's all got a bit sloppy, hasn't it?
Anderson. Yeah, Michael Van Gerwen the other night, last night in fact, who's got a long time ago, 9-1 up against Benito van der Pas. Benito 1-3 on the trot before Van Gerwen slammed the door.
Yeah, but Michael seemed to lack a bit of focus. There you have it. Wraps it up with 118 to join the finishes of 113 and 111. It wasn't really Steve Beaton's night, but Gary Anderson through after beating Gary by 10 legs to 4. He's in the second round, and his quest